It's especially easy for them. However, they could be overachievers and get ahead, which wouldn't be wise. Okay, what did we do last week for easy? Oh, you don't have strips. Oh, I need to drink my whole day off. What did you do last week? What is Miss Condon never going to talk about ever again? Ice cream. He said it first. So we'll get to point. Yeah, me and ice cream are done. So the good news is there is no ice cream today. So you don't have to think through, is it chocolate on vanilla, vanilla on chocolate, are we counting doubles? There's no need for any of that. I had someone last period who tried to make what we're doing today too deep. And so that's just Tyler being Tyler. So today's activity is pretty easy. We need to go over these 4 math workshop problems, then I'll tell you what I need from you. Okay, I need to simplify this radical. I need 2 numbers that multiply to 80. One of those 2 numbers needs to be a perfect square.
16 and 5.
16 and 5. A woman who is prepared. Okay, the reason we're going to pick 16 and 5 and not, let's say, 10 and 8 is because neither 10 or 8 are perfect squares. What is the square root of 16?
4.
Okay, so we're going to end up having this. I forgot, Claire, you can have your point for answering the question. So I know my answer has a 16. I know my answer has a square root of 5. Just got to deal with those darn pesky variables. So what do I do about that q to the 12th and the g to the 2nd? It is q to the 6th, and then it would be just g because it's g to the 1. So, and you can have a point for that, girls. So let's see. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's why it's q to the 6. 2 divided by 2 is 1. But you and I both know we don't write the 1. It's understood to be there. So my final answer is 16. Q to the 6, g square root of 5. Okay, number 10. The only thing we have to deal with is the darn pesky variable. K to the 3rd. What should happen? Yes. Okay, if you're struggling, and Lauren, you can have a point. If you're struggling with the variables, if you write them out, like k to the 3rd is k, k, k. Yes, I realize that's kind of bad to write on the board, but it is on the board nonetheless. We're trying to find pairs. There is a pair, that's why the 1k gets to come out. This k doesn't have a match, that's why he has to stay home. So if you're having trouble with this, you can always list it out like I did in Brown. Okay, number 11. I need 2 numbers that multiply to 800.
819. 100 times 8.
But all of these are correct. 100 times 8 was getting closer.
You said the most part to get 800.
Yeah. Okay, so there are 200 times 4, 400 times 2, 100 times 8. Which of those options am I supposed to go with?
800 times 1.
Well, you did 8 times 100, but what you do is you split up the 8, so you do 100 times 4 times 2.
So if we picked a bigger one to begin with, we wouldn't have to reduce twice.
400 times 2.
Yes, and that's why everyone gets another point. So if we do 400 times 2, the reason we're picking that is 400 is a perfect square. I know the square root of 400 is 20. So I'm going to have a 20 and a square root of 2 in my answer. Now I've just got to deal with those A's and B's. So it should be A to the watt power and B to the watt power. Someone other than 1, because 1's got it.
I still never got the C side.
She passed them out and asked people to raise their hands. Whose fault is that? Go look in the, what day is it, Lauren? The 23. My gosh. Oh my goodness, y'all are ridiculous too. It should be A to the watt power. Thank you. 5 can have a point. 4 can have a point. Sorry, I can count today. 4 can have a point. A to the 2nd and B to the... And there's an extra B left in the radical, and you can have a 2nd point for that. Thank you, ma'am.
Alright, yeah, I can answer the next one.
Okay.
That's a lot. Hold up. Alright.
12 is my favorite.
12, it is.
It's my favorite of today, absolutely.
I don't know.
It's my favorite because I know the square root of 289 off the top of my head.
I don't.
I know my perfect squares.
I don't.
No, 169 is 13.
Okay, so it's gotta be like it's gotta be like 17.
It is 17. Lucky guess, you can have a point. It's 17, and then someone, please, in my misery. One of those variables is there just to throw you off. Which variable is it?
D is
Why?
because anything to the 0 power is 1. Yep.
She can get her point. We're going to completely ignore that because it's really just a 1. It's mostly just there to see if you knew that. And then I end up with what? E to the what? F to the what?
E to the second, F to the 4th.
And I have an extra E and F left over because they were odds. Perfect. 1, 2, and 4 can get another point. Okay, I am biting off more than I can chew, and we're still super behind on math workshops. I don't really remember how that happened, but it has. We're going to rectify a lot of that tomorrow. We're going to be so adventurous. We're going to do 1 through 8 tomorrow on the factoring. So if you're trying to get your group ahead and have all the points like Table 1 is trying to do, you will have the factoring ones done by tomorrow. Okay, can I see, Forrest, will you let me see your textbook? Okay, we are, God bless you, Forrest, you can have a point for already being on the right page. We are on page 38 of your textbook. Last week I felt sorry for you because the ice cream was a little ridiculous at times, so I gave you all the answers. With this activity, I do not feel as sorry for you. It is not that deep. There is a pattern. When you realize the pattern, you can use the pattern. Until you realize the pattern, you're going to have to work it on out. I'm so sorry. Okay, so there was something else. Oh, yes. Flip to, we're going to be on 38 today, but flip to page 53 as well. If there was a section for you to not skip, it would be 3.5 exercises. Anytime it says exercises, I put that section of the textbook in the 60% category. It is going to be due at the end of class on Friday. You do not have to work out all of them. You only have to do 12 out of the 16. If Allison is still heartbroken over ice cream, maybe she wants to skip number 18 because her and ice cream have had long enough. I get it. If you want to do, it's page 53. If you're wanting to do more than the 12 to get over 100, that's great. You have to have 12 of them done by Friday. I'm going to give you time during class, like you should theoretically have some time today, but regardless, the 12 are due at the end of class on Friday. 60% category. Should be an easy A, but you know how the easy A's go.
So what else is planned for Friday?
Besides Friday, besides doing the exercises? Not much. Okay, as for today, you've got to finish 3.2 and show me you're done when you finish. I want you to see it. We're going to put it in as a grade already. I'm going to help you with number 1, and seriously, the rest of them should come pretty easy. I will walk around and help you so your group doesn't get stuck. What we want to know is how many rectangles do we have in this one little picture?
4.
So there's the one giant one. And then there's 2, 3, 4 with the squares because squares are rectangles. But then it's technically 6 because we've got 2, 3, and we've got 3, 4. And if you want to list it like this, it will work. So again, we figured out we had all the 1 by 1s, the 2, 3, 4. They were all by themselves. We had the ones that were 2 lengths long. That was 5 and 6, those options. And then we had one that was 3 lengths long. It might be easier to list it out like this. So let's say I name them 1, 2, 3. Maybe I say, oh, I could have done 1, 2, 3. I could have done 1, 2, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. That might be a little easier way to count. After you do the first 3, you should realize, hey, there's a pattern. If you don't, I'll gladly point you in the direction of the pattern. So again, it was 3 long. So there were the 3 baby ones, 1, 2, 3. There were the 2 length ones, so 1, 2, 2, 3. And then the giant one, 1, 2, 3. Are there any questions about how I got 6? You can pick either way you like and then roll with it. Are there any questions about this? When you get to the end and it asks for an algorithm, if you need help with that, I can help you. If you want to make up a symbol the way Claire did, that's fine too. Okay, that's all.